What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It is a frigid Wednesday afternoon here in Findlay, Ohio, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed getting ready to do a WTF Wednesday beer review. For those of you who may be new to the channel, WTF Wednesday is a one day a week when I showcase a beer I normally wouldn't on the program. Sometimes this means I do stuff from the big boys, the macro daddies, Bud Miller and Coors. Sometimes I try interesting offerings from smaller breweries, and recently I've been trying to get a little more international flair in on my WTF Wednesday videos, and the beer I have today checks two of those boxes. So this is Busted Sled gingerbread stout, and this is from Big Rig Brewery, and they are out of Kanata, Ontario, Canada. I looked up the pronunciation of that. I hope it's correct. And this was a beer that was sent to me by my friend Shane from Shane's Craft Beer Reviews. So if you don't subscribe to him, check him out. I'll throw his logo up here and a link down in the description. He sent me a box of beer and some other stuff, so I do have an unboxing video with the other ones that I acquired. Now, gingerbread stouts aren't anything that unusual, but it is still a flavored spice stout. The other thing that I found interesting, when I was doing my research on this, when I went on to Beer Advocate, there was some talk about this previously being a porter with the same exact name, same graphics, and all the same ingredients. So I'm kind of eager to see if I think this is more of a porter or a stout. Now, let's see what else we have here. Stats-wise, 5.6% ABV. The back here, we have a little blurb. It says, if you smash a gingerbread house into a glass, what do you get? A decadent stout layered with spice to create dessert in a glass. Dessert in a glass. A blend of specialty malts combined to create a base reminiscent of dark toffee and molasses, enhanced with creaminess from lactose sugar. Brewed with copious amounts of ginger, cinnamon, and allspice, it finishes with a hint of vanilla, perfect for your epic winter adventures. Now, today when I got in the car, I think it was 2 degrees Fahrenheit. You can probably see my breath. I made the other critical error. We have these propane heaters out here, but I forgot to fill the propane up, so I have no heater. But I will get one before the Ginger Yeti visits again. So it's a little cold, and I'm hoping this beer warms me up. So let's give it a shot. Now, ratings-wise, does pretty good. 3.5 on Beer Advocate, although there's only, I think, 6 check-ins, 2 of which were detailed. Oh my God, I gave this an Anderson pour. Untappd, 3.53. So, this thing is poured with a ton of head. This was in the, well, Shane mailed it to me, and I got it earlier in the week. It has then sat in my fridge, but I took it out about an hour ago. I don't know about you guys. I don't really like my stouts to be super cold. I prefer them a little more room temperature. I think you can usually pick up the flavors a little better. So I let this sit out for a little. Now we're back in the freezing shed. I don't know. Poured with a little more head than I would have expected. Although the head looks quite good. First things first, check out our Brew HQ chart. Kind of looks like a dark cola, brownish black. You know that cola color. It doesn't really have the red hue. But it does look more like more brown than black, I would say, but a very, very dark brown. Head looks magnificent. I mean, I got multiple fingers. This is a dark tan color, frothy. This doesn't look like it's going anywhere, which also is kind of interesting because when I saw the comments on Beer Advocate, the 2 that actually wrote it out, one of the comments said the head dissipated rather quickly and wasn't there. This doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Much to my dismay. I wish it would, so I don't have to drink through 3 inches of foam here, but it looks pretty good in the glass. Up the top, it has like that oatmeal-y look, too. The head, it looks good. Let's give it a sniff. Gingerbread. It's gingerbread. I know gingerbread can be divisive. I absolutely love ginger snaps and gingerbread men and, you know, gingerbread in general, so I have a feeling that I'm probably going to dig this. Yeah, the nose is gingerbread. It's like light cinnamon, light ginger, probably the spices, you know, allspice or whatever it is. But it's not strong, which is good because I understand this can be a little bit of a strong flavor gingerbread sometimes, so some people don't like it. But I don't know. I think it's a subdued smell. It's not overpowering. Yeah, it smells good. Let's give it a taste. It's enough sniffing it. Cheers. And Shane, thanks again for sending this, my brother. And if you notice here, I have some nice pint glasses I picked up at Menards for about $1.50 or something like that. So I have plenty of pint glasses now, so I don't have to use the jam jars. Body on this is a bit thin for a stout. I'd say the body is probably medium. but probably thinner than I was expecting for a big dessert stout. Flavors are a bit subdued too. Um, you got a couple of things going on. So we had ginger, cinnamon, allspice, ginger, cinnamon, allspice, and vanilla at the end is what it says, with lactose, which should sweeten it up a bit, and dark toffee and molasses. So what do I get first? I think you pick up the ginger and cinnamon up front and kind of feel it on your lips. It gives like a, it's not a burn, but it's like a slight hint that lets you know you have the cinnamon. I do pick up the molasses as kind of the backbone, and I guess that's going for the bready bit of it. At the end, supposed to fade the vanilla, but I don't really think I get the vanilla. I definitely pick up the other stuff: ginger, cinnamon, allspice. Yeah, you get it. Again, subdued, not as strong of a flavor as I would have thought. You definitely get the molasses kind of taste underneath of it. But the vanilla, I'm not really picking up on. The end is a little bit bitter. You know, I think this is relatively new. Just check the date just to make sure. Packaged on 7/11/23, so it's just from the summer. It's less than, I mean, just under, I guess, 6 months old roughly or so, so that should be fine. It's not too old or anything. The end has a slight bitterness to it that I don't associate with vanilla. I don't know if that's what they're going for. But that's the only real knock on it. Like, you know, the other interesting thing, like I said, on the two written ones on Beer Advocate, they were kind of underselling this and said it wasn't very good. And I would tend to disagree with this. I mean, I get that if you're a big fan of the gingerbread flavors, maybe you want to punch in the face with those flavors. I kind of prefer it more subdued. So you kind of get that this is winter beer, 5.6, not super high ABV. But you get those holiday kind of flavors coming through, but it doesn't overwhelm you. Because I could see that being a problem if you had a gingerbread beer, you had a 6-pack of it, they're overpowering, you probably wouldn't want to drink a second one because it's just flavor overload. So I think that they do a pretty good job with this. Now, I would have probably liked a tiny bit more on the body, but other than that, I think it's a solid beer. So for me, Busted Sled Gingerbread Stout coming to me all the way from Kanata, Canada. You get a thumbs up. I appreciate this beer. And Shane, thanks for sending it out to me, my dude. Glad to be able to try some cool Canadian brews. Anderson should be coming up here, I think, the first weekend of February or so. So we'll be sending out some beers once we figure out what he and I have between us to disperse amongst our friends. So big thumbs up for the beer. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you tried Busted Sled from Big Rig? If so, let me know what you think about it down below. Hey, till next time, cheers.